This is Tom Norfleet with www.citizenshipquickly.com. I wanted to show you, I'm actually here on the golf course of St. Kitts, Marriott golf course, and this golf course was developed, I think, somewhere back in the 1970s or 80s. It's probably one of the cheapest golf courses that I've ever played on. The grass looks kind of dead now because we're going through the coronavirus closed down, and it's been dead here. But it's a good time to take these videos here while nobody's playing golf. This is a citizenship development here that you can qualify for citizenship in St. Kitts by investing as little as $200,000, although you won't be able to buy in here for $200,000 here. But that's the minimum to get citizenship in St. Kitts. And I just want to show you some of the houses here on the golf course. St. Kitts is real unique. It doesn't have any income tax, no capital gains tax, no inheritance tax, no estate tax, and actually has no income taxes on rental income. And property tax only runs 0.20% of whatever you're buying. So just using 100,000 US dollars, you get approximately a 30,000 US dollar exclusion before the property tax kicks in. So you would pay 0.20% of 100,000 minus 30,000 roughly, which leaves 70,000. So your property tax would only be about 140 US dollars a year for the first 100,000 of property that you're buying. And then of course every property has that deduction, but can you imagine owning a slew of properties down here and not having to pay any rental income taxes and almost no property tax? The property tax, there is a small amount, 0.20% of what you're getting, but you're looking at about, the property tax here is about 15 times less than what it is in New Jersey. In New Jersey, it's about 2.5% of the property. Here, it's 0.20%. So you can see that there's a huge difference. If you really want to come down here and really get around high taxes, this is the place to go. Over on the other side here is the ocean. The ocean runs right up to the golf course. And of course, that's the Marriott. That's actually closed right now because of the coronavirus. One thing I would like to say before I forget, we had no coronavirus deaths here at all, and we're opening up now. I'm right at almost June the 1st. 2020, but this is one advantage of having an island like this, that you can control the pandemic infections a lot better because because it's such a small place. So we had no deaths. I think they only had 15 people that they were infected, and nobody, to my knowledge, even went on a respirator. So that's there are very few countries in the world that have that type of track record. So that's really, really nice. They closed down the country really quick, and they didn't allow any more flights going in and out, and also the cruise ships stopped. So that controlled it really good. But if you want to go to a place that's really safe for pandemic, St. Kitts is a great place to go. And the weather here is really nice. 365 days a year you can go swimming. I do a lot of biking here. You can go sailing. There's just so many things to do. But this is a citizenship development, along with, there's about probably close to 80 of them. A lot of them have been developed out since the 1984 when the Citizenship Act actually came about, and they started these developments. There's, I don't know how many there are in existence in St. Kitts and Nevis now, but there's probably 80 since the inception, since the program started. I'm going to actually drive down here a little bit so you can see some of the other homes. I'm on my bicycle, so I'm going to try to keep this as steady as I can. I wanted to take you up to the ocean. The golf course literally runs right up to the ocean here, and I want to show you some of the other citizenship. There's another citizenship development down here. I wanted to show you that one too, and I wanted to tell you more about buying property here and how to avoid some of the taxes, like the land alien holding license tax that you would have to pay. I'll explain a little bit how that land alien holding license works. It's It's actually it's a tax that's on property that's bought. That's hello. That's actually property that's bought outside of either Frigate Bay, the Southeast Peninsula, or either the Citizenship developments. If you buy property that's, and you're not a citizen, and you buy property that's outside of those developments, either again the Southeast Peninsula, Frigate Bay, or any of the economic citizenship areas, you would have to pay a land alien license tax of 10% of the purchase amount. The way you get around that is you get your citizenship here by buying a property that's at least $200,000, and you can buy properties anywhere here and escape the land alien holding license, either here or Nevis. St. Kitts is actually a lot better investment rate of return than Nevis. There's a lot more to do here. You got 4 times the people. There's a lot more doctors here, and more people move here, so it's easier to resell your property here than in Nevis. But the golf course here is very inexpensive. I forgot the rate to play here, but it's very inexpensive. But you can play here all the time. It's just nice weather, 365 days a year, unless we got a tropical storm in here or something. This is another development we're coming up. This one is called Half Moon Bay Villas. They qualify for citizenship. Like I said, not all the properties qualify for citizenship developments. They run in here anywhere from, I'd say, probably maybe 350, 400,000 up to a little over $1 million US. This is another one we're coming up to. It's called Sunrise Hills Villas. And we'll kind of stop where you can see this. These are this is like a duplex. Each side has around 1,200 square feet roughly. And these are around 450,000 US. It's got great views of the ocean. You can't see it from there. The ocean's actually just on the other side of this this little lake right here. It comes right up to the golf course, and I'll take you down there. This actually will meet right where the ocean is. So I'm going to drive down here a little bit further. But the thing about here too is if you get citizenship, you have visa-free travel to all the Schengen countries, which are the main countries in Europe. And you can go to about every country you'd ever want to go to on a St. Kitts passport, as a US passport for that matter. But the great thing is no income tax, no capital gains tax, no estate or inheritance tax. Now you're going to have to look to see if you're from a high tax country that taxes worldwide income like Germany or France. You're going to have to relinquish from your residency ties there if you come down here tax-wise. If you're a US citizen, you can qualify for the foreign earned income exclusion, and husband and wife's income up to a little over $200,000 limit can be, I'm not talking about a deduction, it's actually a credit. You can literally exclude the tax on that totally, on that amount of money. If you want to relinquish your US citizenship, it won't make any difference what you make at that point. That's the great thing about if you ever get to that point you want to do that. You can still go back to the US, but you're not going to be, you can go back to the US if you want to get a visa. You're close, you're like 3 or 4 hours flight, depending on where you're going to go on the East Coast. You can see here, this house here, I'm going to show you one that's right over here. It's got 2 big pools. It's got one upstairs and one downstairs. These are lap swimming pools, and this is well over $2 million US. Now we've got houses that are actually, we got them under 85,000. I just sold one that was 63,000 US, but it's not going to be in Frigate Bay. This is in another area. But can you imagine getting a slew of rental houses down here, almost paying almost no property tax? You will have a little bit, but it's a lot less, 15 times less than New Jersey. And you don't have to pay any income taxes on property. Now again, you're going to have to look at your situation, your residency, and your citizenship. And if you go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com, we can tell you more on how to avoid high taxes. But the key is you need to go in and start educating yourself and look at some of these videos. That's how you learn how to do this. There's another pretty house right there. So we're going to go around here now, and I'll take you where the golf course meets the ocean, where you can kind of see this a little bit better. It's a lot easier to do that. And we deal with about 74 citizenship by investment and residency by investment countries. If you're not interested in this one, we deal with other countries too, all of them in Europe. The thing about this country is it checks all the boxes. You get dual citizenship. You don't have to relinquish your other citizenship to get it here. And you don't have to learn a foreign language, a test. English is the main language here. That's the great thing about here. So, you know, I'll tell you, I lived in Panama for a while, and I'll tell you something. If you don't know the language of a country, sure, you can learn it. Man, it takes you 5-10 times longer to do everything. It is a pain in the butt. It's nice going to a place where you speak the language already, and if you're from Canada or the US and you want to go back, it's nice. You can get back in 3 or 4 hours. It takes about a 3-hour flight to go to Miami. They have direct flights to Miami, Atlanta, Georgia, North Carolina, New York City, Toronto, Canada. I mean, these are direct flights. And this is really nice. There are all kinds of birds down here too. But especially if you like snorkeling and things like this, water sports, it's great for things like that. I go snorkeling a lot. A lot of people go diving here. But you can do this all year round. It's just so nice here. I'm going to drive down this other area where you can kind of see the other parts. Now, see, that house does not qualify for citizenship. From this point to the right is Half Moon Bay. And if you're not a citizen, you have to pay a land alien holding license fee if you buy in those areas. Unless you're a citizen, you can get by with it once you get your citizenship. And this is the key. For what you end up paying in citizenship, if you're going to buy several houses down here that are outside of Frigate Bay, the Southeast Peninsula, or citizenship areas, you're better off just going ahead and getting your citizenship first, because then you avoid all that 10% land alien holder license fees on the properties. It just saves you a lot of money in tax. In fact, the tax savings alone will probably pay for your property for your citizenship. A lot of people do that. But the properties have done very well here, but they're still a lot cheaper than Bermuda or the Cayman Islands. And what you'll find out is countries that don't have an income tax, the property values have a real good increase, because it just attracts a lot of investors. And that's the nice thing about here. But you have very few countries in the world that have no income tax. That's the thing right there. Now, I want to show you one thing right here. If you buy, you want to get some elevation. Now, see these houses right here? They're almost the same level as me. The top floor would have some ocean view, but the places that are so easy to resell are the ones that are higher up, where the views are really nice. And they are more expensive. Your lots are higher the further you go up, because your views are a lot better. Now, I have some people that try to get good deals that are real low. The problem with this is if you get the property at a real steal, then you got to sell it for steal when you get rid of it, because there's too many properties that have real good views here that are up high. So that's what you want to be concentrating on, because you want to be able to resell a real good appreciation when you resell yours. And so you want to get something that has good elevation on it. Plus, a lot of those homes up on the hilltop, you don't even need air conditioning because the breeze is so nice all the time up there. They've got some that are way up on the hilltop there. Okay, I'm gonna go down here a little bit further where you can kind of see this a little bit better, where the ocean and the golf course come together. The ocean is just right on the other side of that little hill right there. It's the Atlantic Ocean. The Caribbean Ocean is on the other side. St. Kitts is only about 5 miles wide to 6 miles wide at its widest point, and it's about 35 miles from north to south, and east to west is about 5-6 miles. Kind of give you an idea. And when you have a small country like that, you can control the taxes, you can control pandemics. There's just so many things you can do. Efficiency with finances is so much easier in a small country like this. And the air pollution, I saw on the internet, St. Kitts had the second lowest air pollution rate of any country in the world. And it is, I noticed a big difference when I came back from Singapore. Went to Singapore, went to Dubai, and the Philippines, and there's no comparison. The air quality is so much better here. Really nice. All right, now I'm going to go down here. This is another, you can see the ocean there now. It meets the golf course right there. It's real pretty. Now I'm going to go down here. You can see this development off in the distance. That's an economic citizenship development called Quarry Resort. One thing I will tell you, if you do get properties here, don't get fractional units. It's like timeshare, and it's very difficult to resell. Stick with standalone units. If you go with a 200,000 option, you'll have to get a fractional unit. You're better off getting standalone units, but they're 400,000 if you do it and up. But they're easier to resell. So remember, don't get fractional units. They're just very hard to resell. That's where you own a fraction of a hotel, or you might own a fraction of a condo. That's the way it works. And I'll show you some of these other houses right up on the hilltop. This is called Half Moon Bay. Now this area here, like I said, is outside of Frigate Bay. So you would have to pay a land 800 license here, 10%, unless you're a citizen. And I don't know why people go to Europe and get passports when you can get here a lot cheaper, and the visa free is almost as good as far as quality countries as even a country like Portugal. Portugal does have more visa-free travel than here, but if you look at the countries that are extra with Portugal that you don't get here, most of those countries you never go to. And it would take you years and years and years to get it in Portugal. You're looking at probably 7 years before you can apply. And then you got to learn Portuguese. That's the problem. And you got to pass a Portuguese language test to get it. These are the complicated problems you run into when you get second citizenships. Now you might want to come here and not even get a passport. I'm just giving you all the options, but getting citizenship here makes it easier for your job if you want to set up a business here, because some businesses, if you're not a citizen, you're barred out from doing, because only citizens can do certain type businesses down here. That's why you really need citizenship. Gives you a lot more benefits and rights. So that's something you really should consider. You know, a lot of people don't think about when they come here. Like for instance, Panama. Panama won't let you work in retail, insurance, real estate. There's a slew of industries that you can't get involved with in Panama unless you're a citizen. Well, it's going to take you, they say 5 years before you can apply, but I'm going to tell you, it'll take you 10 years to 15 years to get the passport. So if you want to participate, citizenship is the way to go, because you get a lot more opportunities to start a business. Now you can come down here and set up a business, but the problem is if you don't have citizenship, more than likely they're going to make you hire a bunch of people. Maybe you don't even need to hire. That's the problem with that. Now this is a development here called the Koi Resort. It qualifies for citizenship, but these are fractional units. Now I think eventually they might have standalone units. It's a 5-star resort. Here's another one called Imperial Bay right here. All the Imperial Bay is sold out. They're selling fractions for the hotel here. And you can see the houses up on the hilltop here. Now, these don't qualify for citizenship. These two developments do. They're economic citizenship developments. Okay, if you got a question or comment, put it below. And if you want to get a new video as they come out, hit the subscribe button and we'll get them out to you as soon as they come out. And like I said, we deal with 74 citizenship by investment and residency by investment countries. So if you're not interested in this country, you're interested in another one, we deal with a bunch of them. You can go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com, and we'd be glad to help you on it. If you go to our website and go to the top home page where it says apply with us, hit that button and fill out the questions, and then at the bottom it says send to us. That will come right to us, and that will give us a better picture of how we can help you, and then go from there. And I'll look forward to talking to you on the next video. Take care.